Hey guys, I'm going to be doing a movie review of The Amazing Spider-Man. Now, I saw this last night and I thought it was an okay movie, but compared to the other three Spider-Man films, I thought it wasn't as good, to be honest. The first three films that were directed by Sam Raimi that starred Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst, they were better made films, to be honest. Better direction from Sam Raimi, better casting. Tobey is a great Spider-Man. Kirsten, great Mary Jane. Their chemistry, works really good on screen. Acting, the strength in the script, the dialogue between the two, the vision that Sam Raimi gave to the film. I mean, he basically took a comic book and brought it to life on screen. I mean, you can see it, it's artistically shown throughout each movie. And I thought he did a wonderful job. I actually appreciate those films even more now after seeing The Amazing Spider-Man. I actually appreciate the Spider-Man 3 more. And I've always had kind of a mixed reaction with that film. I liked it, but yet I had issues with it, certain scenes and some of the story. But I actually like Spider-Man 3 a lot more than The Amazing Spider-Man. Everything that was good about, Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 is what's missing in The Amazing Spider-Man. But I don't want to say anything bad about, I'm not trying to say anything bad about The Amazing Spider-Man. I thought it was okay on its own. It's an okay movie. But it's hard to not compare it, It's hard not to compare it to the last three, films. Because those movies were just really well done. And this one has some problems. And mainly, it's not because of the actors. Andrew Garfield, who plays Peter Parker, thought he was decent. Emma Stone, I like her. I've seen her. What was it? Zombieland. I've seen her in Zombieland. I've seen her in House Bunny. She plays Gwen Stacy. I thought she was good. She's fine. She's a fine actress. Martin Sheen. I thought he was a great Uncle Ben. I thought he was good. I thought he was one of the stronger points in this film. Sally Field, good actress, but she didn't have a lot of screen time. She played Aunt May. Denis Leary, he's a good actor. Kind of an odd choice. I can't remember the character's name, so I'm gonna just call him Captain Stacy. That's what they call him, but I don't know his actual first name. But he's Gwen Stacy's father. And I'll just tell you the story. It's quite simple. This movie's quite simple. There's not much development, with characters, and the story is not that strong. But just to tell you what it's about, it's basically Peter Parker. The first scene is Peter Parker as a 7-year-old, and basically his parents abandon him, and they leave him at his aunt and uncle's house. And 10 years go by, and he's a teenager now, and he's hurt and saddened that his parents left him, and he's trying to find the answers to why did they leave. And he finds a briefcase that his dad had, and he opens it up and finds this picture of him and this guy named Dr. Connors, who was, I guess he was his lab assistant, and they both worked at Oscorp. And so Peter tries to find out who this guy is, and he goes to Oscorp to meet him. And as this is happening, in the process of this happening, Peter gets, bitten by a radioactive spider. And he then eventually, as we all know, becomes Spider-Man. And Peter Parker becomes friends with Dr. Connors. and they both developed this serum, this formula that's created with reptilian DNA. And Dr. Connors has half of an arm missing. And so, with all the lab rats that he tried to test it with, he decides to test it on himself. So he injects himself with this formula, and he creates an arm for himself. But in the process of doing it, he morphs and changes into the lizard. And while this is happening, there's a relationship being developed by Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy. And then there's some drama between Gwen Stacy's father, Captain Stacy, and Peter Parker. They're not gelling. You know how it is. The father doesn't really approve of the boyfriend. But then we have the revelation of people seeing Spider-Man saving the day, and saving the kid or fighting the criminals or whatever, and protecting the city. And Captain Stacy thinks he's a vigilante and he's no good, and he's trying to hunt him down. And in the process of this happening, there's the lizard that's attacking the city and causing problems, and the Spider-Man has to save the day and try to stop the lizard. And Captain Stacy finally realizes, as he finds out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, he finds out that the world needs Spider-Man. And Gwen Stacy, not Gwen Stacy, but Captain Stacy, he lets Spider-Man go to save Gwen, and he defeats the lizard. The lizard, Dr. Connors, from within fights the monster, and he saves Peter Parker at the end. But Captain Stacy dies. But before he dies, he tells Peter to promise him not to have Gwen involved with this. Keep her safe and protect her. And Peter, he promises that he'll do that. And after the funeral, there's a breakup between Peter and Gwen, and for the reason of trying to protect her. And then at the end, there's a hint that Gwen Stacy and Peter are gonna get back together. And then you have your typical Spider-Man ending, where he's swinging his web throughout through the city, and cut to the credits, and that's it. And that's the end of the movie. It's as simple as can be. My problems with the film, one of them is the advertising, talking about this was the untold story, and the secrets are going to be revealed about Peter Parker, and why his parents left, all these secrets, and none of that was revealed. Everything is like a mystery when it comes to that, and I guess they're going to talk about that kind of stuff in the sequels that they plan on making. This is supposed to be part of a trilogy, so that was kind of disappointing. Nothing was revealed. Another issue was the chemistry between Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone. I didn't buy it. The way the script was done, there was a lot of the way they interacted with each other, and I don't know, it was just awkward, and a lot of gibberish, it was incoherent. It wasn't a strong script for the actors. It felt like it was kind of like on the spot. It felt like they made it up as they went. The actors didn't really have a script on hand, and they kind of just improvised. That's what it felt like when I was watching certain scenes. So I didn't think their chemistry worked too well on screen. I thought it worked better in the previous films with Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst. Another issue was Andrew Garfield's acting in certain scenes. I mean, he was decent for the most part, but certain scenes like the death of Uncle Ben, I didn't really buy his performance in that particular scene. I mean, it wasn't well executed to begin with, the particular scene, but just the way he reacted to his death and when he got emotional, I thought it was too raw of a performance, too on the spot. It felt like just one take, and Tobey Maguire actually did a better job in that particular scene in the first Spider-Man film. Tobey seemed like a more, well-trained, skilled actor compared to Andrew. And Andrew's an okay actor. I thought he was decent as Peter Parker, but certain scenes I didn't really buy his acting in certain areas. The CGI and the lizard I liked. I thought that was one of the redeeming qualities about the film. The last 40 minutes was great. Great action, great CGI. The lizard looked great on screen. I didn't think he looked like a Goomba from the Super Mario Brothers movie, like a lot of people were saying. I don't think if they did actually do the lizard the way he looked in the comics, which he looked kind of like a crocodile in the comic books, I don't think that would translate too well on screen. A talking lizard in CGI form, I don't think that would work so well. So the way they designed him for this movie, I thought he looked fine. And he was definitely menacing, and, he had a good look to him. One complaint, and it's just on the visual level of the film. Director Mark Webb has a different visual style in the way he directs, and I thought it looked okay, but they tried to make it kind of dark, kind of a dark edge and kind of a gritty look to it, and it felt like they were trying to be like Batman in a way, and Spider-Man isn't Batman. So that was kind of, it wasn't, visually it didn't felt like I was watching a comic book come to life as the Sam Raimi films. It just felt kind of like, this is just a typical superhero movie. It wasn't like a special movie. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say about I thought the movie was okay, but I had some problems with the film. And go check it out and tell me what you think. And I will do some more reviews later on, and I'll get back to you soon. Alright, take care.